Right, peace, 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 peace. You know how we do it, son. And Born to Law, AOBFA Productions, Son of Man Publications. Subject matter was that little timeline, that little fast, quick timeline, an anthropological or sociological outlook on the black people, right? The ones who call themselves black, colored, Negro, Ethiopian, African American, colored, all those names, Negro, nigger, all them names they gave us, and then you was from the 50 states or you live in the 50 states, but actually, really, in reality, it's from Alaska to Chile, right? And so, if we do that little history when we go from 1492 to 1555, that's going to be indoctrination period. That's when they indoctrinated us, and culturally, religiously, spiritually, through fear and all kind of rape and all kind of men and women got raped, all kind of shit like that. Murdering the alpha male in front of everybody in humiliating ways, like opening up your guts, pulling all your guts out, holding you, all that kind of humiliating shit. Right. Turning your woman upside down, gutter, let the baby fall out, step on his head, make everybody watch. All that kind of shit they did, right? That's that indoctrination period. Now, when they say indoctrination period, that was 1492 to 1555, but they always re-indoctrinate you as time goes with those same tactics. You see it now. The new shit is police get to shoot you, you lay in the street till coroner come and get you. You might be there for a minute. They make sure it's all over the news. You keep seeing yourself getting shot. All that is a psychological thing to do to you. They want the social media to say, oh, another cop shot him. They wouldn't want the social media to say it if they were prosecuting him. See, but they're not prosecuting them, so they're making the ones who feel that way feel emboldened, right? So that's all part of that same indoctrination period. That's why I say it keeps renewing itself every 25 years. They renew the indoctrination period every 25 years. When you look at it, you say, okay, from 1555 to 1865, they be right there with each other, walking, talking. That's how it be. Each one teach one. If you the master, you might be the master of, say, IT, but your homeboy might be the master when y'all go into the realm of mechanics. It just depends on who's the master of that realm. When we walk in that realm now, you the master. Now, when we in my realm, then I'm the master. It just depends. I see when people got a problem is recognizing who's the master in whatever realm it is. They might want to be the master.
They want to be in every realm.
No,
you can't be the master in every realm.
Now, you're not the master in every realm, even if you want to be. Impossible. You might be good. You might be high ranking in every realm, but you ain't the master in all of them.
Right.
And some of them, dude, real talk, you gonna be the private. You gonna be the private. Sometimes you might even be the civilian. You don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? If motherfuckers is race car drivers and you don't even drive, then you're the civilian.
Yeah.
You not the. You ain't the conjugation, right? So. We know what happened from, we don't even have to go through that part of the history from 1555 to 1865. Everybody should know what happened then, if we talk about the 50 states. But I'm saying from Alaska to Chile, everybody might not know, but it was pretty much the same. It was just different colonizers colonizing that geographical location. All right, so we know that. You can look into that. J.A. Rogers, Sex and Races, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Dr. Ben, Black Man of the Nile and His Family. You can look into that. Message to the Black Man, Elijah Muhammad. Circle 7 Quran, Noble Drew Ali. Problem Book, W.D. Farad. Go and look into the history on Marcus Garvey. With the biggest movement that was ever made manifest this western side of the hemisphere. Spin-offs from Marcus Garvey, you can go into Rastafari, Jah, Haile Selassie. It's going to take you there. You know, I'm just giving you an overall from 1555 to 1865. That's what you're going to see in that era when you look at the whole globe. You're going to understand that black and brown were already here in North America, from Alaska to Chile, highly developed cultural civilizations, flourishing with trade back and forth across the continent before the European even got to Constantinople. before they even knew about the Rock of Gibraltar and the Pillars of Hercules, which are the same thing. Before they knew about the Aegean Sea, we was doing that. All right, 50,000 years ago, we built those monuments from the mounds all the way down to the Mayans and the Olmecs and all that. All that is over 50 grand. Don't let them fool you, son. Some of them shits was so old that when the Pantagonians moved into them and did whatever rituals they did when they was living in those temples. But they weren't the builders of those temples. You feel me? All right, so that's that. See how long I could go crazy on from 1555 to 1865, right? Because the history is there on its own. It's not that I'm going crazy. The history is there. You just got to go look and see it. But I gave you some books. You can go in those, and you from there they'll take you to other books. History. If you really want to know that kind of history, I say if you're not studying 120, say you don't got a set of 120, so get every book that J.A. Rogers put out. All his books, right? That's Great Men of Color, Africa's Gift to the World, Superman to Man, Sex and Race, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Those are the main ones. Get those, right? Then you could get Black Man of the Nile and His Family, Dr. Ben. And then you could get all of Elijah's books. How Savior Has Arrived, Fall of America, How to Eat to Live, Book 1 and Book 2. Those are the main ones. Message to the Black Man. Get those, right? Then that'll give you that whole complete history. Okay, so now let's go from 1865 to 1965. That's the Jim Crow era and the lynching era. Not to say they weren't lynching you back on the plantation days, but it was a little different because somebody owned you as far as they felt, and so it was property damage. But of course, the ones that were running around free, they had the Indian Wars and all that. When they say Indian Wars, that's just the wars against the black and brown. They've been doing that. So they even had blacks and browns killing blacks and browns for the whites. Okay, it's deep, it's intricate. It's not just simple like we look at it today, right? And everybody kind of talked that way because it really came from the motherland. You knew your tree. Like, you would say, oh yeah, I'm divine, son of whoever I was the son of, and you keep going up the tree. I mean, we out of tune now as a people, we ain't there, but that's another manifestation when you go into that book of Law 360 to show you how to get your DNA and everything back in order, because your DNA can listen to you now. Like, they'll tell you, oh yo, once your DNA is set, that's how it is. No, that's not true. You could talk to your DNA now with food. You can just do shit with food and it can change it. So you can imagine them figuring that out. Everybody knows that now. Stuff like no gluten free and all that kind of. That's them realizing that the regular people, they got a lot of money, they got a lot of influence, they got a lot of education, they know what's going on. They're the ones in those pharmacies, they're the scientists backing the projects, and they're doing the testing and all that. So of course they know what's going on. Regular people don't know because they're just living their life. But that's their new movement. When you see that part, that's the end of it. When I'm talking about ALEC and all of that. ALEC, Monsanto, Bayer, corporate America, all of that part of the story is from the 80s going up because it's the same families. They just a new thing they doing now. So them same motherfuckers that was back here, 1492, that did that crazy shit to you then, they knew shit was Jim Crow. So the reason why they came up with Jim Crow is because that 30% of Europeans that wasn't satisfied with what the 70% were doing when you came to slavery and Jim Crow and all that. So they had to kind of accommodate them because whatever they were doing, it caused them to lose money. And so, because they'll be, the 70% will be totally racist. They'll still be sympathizing with the 30%'s agenda, saying something like, we believe that we're superior to the Negroes, but we shouldn't still treat them that way. Just thinking that they're superior and want to put their foot on their numbers up. They'll be the racist ones. They'll be throwing the white power sign. They still believe in white power and all that, but they don't think that they should be barbaric. We could be civilized about it, as they would say. Why are we going to be barbaric and be trying to kill them? And they're not. Why are we oppressing them? Why just not leave them alone? If we don't want to fuck with them and we don't want them in our genetic code, we just won't put them in our genetic code. But why do we have to keep our foot on their neck? And the other ones will say, well, the reason why we do that is because they'll overrun us. They will reproduce quicker than we can reproduce. Some of us will amalgamate and miscegenate with them and will absorb them. See, Sex and Races, Volume 1, 2, and 3, J.A. Rogers. See how we can refer it back. Or we could go to Wisdom Builder, Destroy the Green, and 1 to 40. We're going to hit you with J.A. Rogers, Sex and Races, Volume 1, 2, and 3. And Dr. Ben. Oh, they cleaning? Yeah, let's move. And so I'm out. Yo, listen, this Divine Understanding Born of Law, AOFA, Son of Man publication. You know how we do it, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, get...
Born to give birth to. Born means complete in its season. Birth means complete in its natural form. For example, the complete numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There are only 9 digits to the mathematics. 1 to 9 plus 0. 0 equals cipher, and this cipher is only used for crossing over a bridge or transformation. The distance between 1 and 9 are the trials and errors, which are from 2 to 8 that you have to go through. There are 7 trials and errors to be born. We want to be successful and able to give birth to, for we were born to give birth to a new nation of people. So we must learn all mathematical units carefully. Here are some meanings of the first 3 numbers. 1 is knowledge, 2 is wisdom, 3
is understanding.